All right, we can get started. It's great to see everyone in this event again. Today we are going to talk about we are going to show you a prototype on how to retrieve large amount of information. But let's get started with the AI front. As everybody know that AI is everywhere now and in a lot of software. We see that the companies are adding features that are AI enabled. This help users to interact with the software and the system, sometimes it's hardware, more naturally. They can use their natural language instead of using the mouse and keyboard. And they can get information also back from the software using natural language and some things that are better for human interaction. So this may include a chatbot, like support, sales, and include some other features like creating slides, writing code, a lot of things. A lot of software is adding the AI capabilities within them to make it easier for the users to use. Right. So with these advancements in AI, the users' expectation is also increasing. They feel that they can rely on these AI to retrieve information that are fresh, that are vast, and they may want to, in some cases, retrieve information that is private, like their own documents that are within the enterprise or on their computers. However, the chatbots that we have seen so far had challenges with retrieving fresh information and private information because they use large language model, which is trained on a large data set, but is trained usually in a time in the past. So if we want the large language model to return information that is up to date, usually that is challenging because they have not seen that information in their during their training. So the answers they provide would be out of date, or they may hallucinate and come up with information that is not accurate. To solve this problem, people come up with the concept of retrieval augmented generation, which means before we query the large language model, we actually use some type of search engine to do some research ahead of time based on the user's query, and then we get the results from our own database or our own search engine, and then we use the results as part of the prompt to the large language model, and then the large language model can understand, oh, here are the relevant results, and here's the question that is asked on these results. So based on that input, a much more enhanced, up-to-date input, they will be able to provide better answers than just relying on their own information that is that may be stale. So that's the way that usually people these days try to solve the problem of retrieving fresh information using the chatbot. So last weekend, we had Coach Cindy to give us a talk about how to build a retrieval augmented generation system and roughly what the architecture may look like. And here is, so if people are interested, you can, so we are going to re-upload the talk again on YouTube soon. If you missed last week information, you can subscribe to our channel, and then once we upload, you'll get the notification for the talk last time. So here's one of the diagram that Cindy used to illustrate how we deal with large amount of information. So we would try to break the information into chunks, and then we would do some index on the document. And then when the user try to query the information, we will try to find the relevant chunks to answer those questions, and then combine that with the user's query and pass that to the large language model. The reason we have to do that kind of work to index the documents is because sometimes the documents can be really, really large, or there can be lots of documents. So the large language model will not be able to, they have limited context window. When you ask a question to a large language model, it can only take up, it can only consume or accept so many characters or so many tokens. So there's a upper limit on how much the large language model can accept. So we cannot feed everything that we have, which may be private database, which may have lots of information, into a single query to the large language model. That will not fit their context window, so they will not be able to process so much information in one big question. So instead, we try to find the relevant chunks to feed to the LLM, and that size could be much smaller. So before we ask the large language model to answer the question, we actually do a query on our own using some search engine, a vector. These days we use vector database to find the relevant text that are some paragraphs, which I will demo later. A few paragraphs that are relevant to answer users' question, and then we combine those paragraphs plus users' question into a more complete question to ask the large language model to summarize based on the information that we retrieved. So this is a talk that Cindy went into more depth last week, and we are going to post the video again on YouTube, so you can subscribe to our channel. But today I will demo a prototype that is based on that idea and try to help us to understand like a book that is really, really long. So part of the technique with these document indexing and especially very large chunk, very large amount of data, is we may not want very small paragraphs. Some of the paragraphs may be very local. So you may ask a question like, oh, where did this person go on this date, right? So for very specific questions, the small paragraphs will be able to answer that accurately if the person and the date appear on the paragraph. But if we want some kind of more higher level questions like what are the unique features of this service, that may go across multiple documents or may go across multiple paragraphs, and very paragraphs may be very specific to one particular point. So when we retrieve that, we may actually miss the big picture. So if we want to answer some big picture questions, sometimes we have the technique of aggregating smaller paragraphs, a number of smaller paragraphs into a summary, and then index the summary as well. And then we have multiple summary chunks, and then we also combine those summaries into even higher level summaries so that we are able to have some paragraphs that are covers more breadth than very specific points. So that in reality would become some kind of hierarchical index that not only index the lowest level of detail, but also index higher level constructs. So we combined documents into summaries, and then summaries into even more abstract summaries, so we can answer more abstract questions. So we will try to demo that. So the RAG alone is not going to give us the user interface to actually ask these questions. So to ask these questions, we still need some type of chat interface or search interface, which will allow the user to type in our question and then show the result. So that goes into the realm of AI agent, which we had previous events talking about AI agents. AI agents can take input both from the user as well as the real world, and then it will try to process this information, and then it will generate some results. Sometimes it's just answers to users' questions. Sometimes they may be able to perform actions on users' behalf, such as planning the trip, buying a ticket, making a phone call, and so forth. So this general framework of AI agent can be used also for information retrieval. And the input part is, in addition to users' input, we also provide the search results as part of the input to the AI agent for it to process and then provide us a summary of what we want to know. So our demo today will be on Discord. So I have hooked up an AI agent on the front end using the Discord chatbot interface, so it can listen to a chatbot, the Discord channel, and also answer to Discord. And then on the back end of our AI agent, I hooked up with a retrieval augmented generation system with the hierarchical index and the vector database to be able to search the information that we put into the index. So some of you may have seen the some of you may have seen the video that I used to introduce this event. So we are going to for demo purpose in this event, we are going to help you to retrieve information for a old novel, and it's a novel called Moby Dick. It's a very famous American novel from the 19th century about a crew of whalers. So they catch whale for a living, and so that there is this story of a captain who want to chase a whale, and he chased it across the ocean, and then he got into some disaster because the force of nature is just too huge for humankind. So there's this famous story that is in the novel form, and it has 135 chapters. It's very popular. There is this Gutenberg project where you can find lots of classic novels and books you can download, and it's constantly this novel Moby Dick is on the top 10 downloaded books list. So I use that to illustrate how we can use our latest AI technology to quickly understand a book and try to understand some details of the book without needing to go through all 135 chapters to read through and then get the information, because these days all of us are busy, so we may not have as much time. So highly recommended you spend the time to read it, but if you don't, we can use the RAG process to quickly extract some information from the book. And so this is the Discord channel. I'm going to also type the Discord channel link to the YouTube. Yeah, we are going to type the link to the YouTube chat so that we can you can join the Discord channel. All right. So, okay. There's an audience person said there's no sound. Are people able to hear me now? Hold on 1 second. All right. So we have I have sent the link to join our Discord channel, and here is the user interface of Discord. Once you join our channel, you can see once you join the Discord server, you will see multiple channels within our Discord server. So on the left-hand side, we see multiple ones. We can click the novel. So the chatbot will actually respond to the novel channel in terms of the query that we have. So I have already been testing this bot. The bot is running on my IDE. I used Cursor, which is AI-enabled integrated development environment to write code, and I have coded the RAG system as well as the AI agent, the chatbot system. So now it's all hooked up together. I can briefly go over what how I did the index and the retrieval augmented generation system. We have this novel, which is the Moby Dick, the full text. Now it's open source. It's available for download from Gutenberg project. You can also download other classic books from there. And then once I have this novel, this is a very, very, very long novel. It has about like 200,000 words. It takes a very long time to read through if we just read it by ourselves. And then I break it down into multiple levels. The first level is essentially just cutting the novel into chunks based on some character limit, and then each chunk have a slight overlap with the next chunk. So each chunk there are like 2,000 words, and then another 2,000 words, but with like about 500 words overlapping. So I chunk it up to level 1. Level 1 is essentially the original text of the author, and then from level 2. Level 2 is so if you can see level 1. Yeah, so this is kind of the original text from the author. And then level 2 is the summary of level 1 data. So every chunk becomes shorter using LLM. So instead of 2,000 words for each chunk in level 1, now it becomes like 200 words in level 2. So level 2 has as many chunks as level 1, but it's shorter. And then level 3 is even shorter. So each one would, let's see. Yeah, each one would combine multiple chunks from level 2, like about, I think it's about like 5, yeah, something like between 5 to 10 chunks of level 2, and then summarize that into another chunk. So every level, there are fewer chunks and smaller, shorter, and a more brief or concise summary of the previous level. So the level 1 is the most detailed, including the original text. Level 2 is already summary. Level 3 is summary of level 2. And then we, in the end, we have a single summary of the whole book. So let's see this one. Yeah. So this one is just based on the large language model. It's a if we were to write the whole novel into a single article, abbreviated version of the abridged version of the novel, then here is what it will look like. So there's this narrator called Ishmael, and he's a sailor, and then he went to a ship, and let's see, chapel, and okay, so this is setting up background of the environment where this sailor grew up in, and then the sailor boarded a ship called Pequod, and then he met with some captains, and eventually he would travel with this captain Ahab to the ocean, and then this is a whaling. So the whaling industry was there in the 19th century, and there are lots of people that make a living by catching the whales. So he boarded this ship with this captain, and then eventually they try to catch the whale, but then the whole ship sunk because they were able to catch the whale, but the whale also knocked out the ship, and then they all kind of sunk into the ocean. and then there was some journey, like some summary, and then in the end, only the storyteller survived this disaster, and then he was picked up by another crew, another ship. So that's if we were to write the whole novel into a single article, then this is the article that we are gonna write. And then with that, we can ask using the agent interface or the Discord chatbot. We can ask some questions about the novel, and when we ask these questions, the AI is going into different levels of abstraction of this novel to see which type of summary is most relevant to answer my question. And then you prepare some, list of relevant paragraphs. Some are summaries, some are original text. And then it's going to write a short essay. So the essay is going to be written in the tone of the original author, as if the author is going to extend his novel, or he's going to write a abridged version of his novel in this new environment. So to make that more interesting, so instead of very robotic response, it would actually respond with the author's writing style as if it's part of the novel itself. So now, if you're on the Discord channel, you can go to this novel, this novel channel, and then you'll see me interacting with the chatbot to ask some questions about the novel. So let's first ask about the crew, right? The crew and their names. Okay, so it's processing. As I mentioned, it went to different levels of detail, trying to retrieve supporting material to answer my question, like the crew and their names. And then with the supporting material, it writes a small essay as if it's part of the book. So if you ask the original author to write it, it will be kind of like this. Yeah, the crew of Paul Quad was diverse and tempestuous lot, and then each one with a tale to tell, and then it actually listed a bunch of people on the ship, Captain Ahab, and then there was Stubb, and then there's this Bildad and Peleg, and then so there are a bunch of people, and then there's Starbuck, Flask. So each one it described what they are, like their background, and then what they do, right? So it's almost like a job interview where you need to do the situation and then the action and the result, right? So so this is the crew. They want to catch whale, and then the action they took was to go on a trip to hunt the whale, and then the result is they actually got into some kind of mutiny, which means some crew actually disobeyed the captain, and then the captain was not able to maintain control of the ship. And then let's see, the crew bound to the danger of the sea voyage. Yeah. So that's sort of the result is the captain actually was really kind of motivated to catch the whale, and he is kind of like a dictator, but the crew has their own personality, and they at some point stopped listening to the captain, and then they had a mutiny, so they kind of like a revolt and rebellion on the ship. So that's the kind of a result. So this is the in response to the crew and their names query. If we scroll down more, I have asked the chatbot, or I've told the chatbot to print what are the supporting evidence that it actually retrieved from our database. So our database, remember, is multiple level. Level 1 is the most detailed level. Level 2 is a summary of level 1, and then level 3 is a summary of level 2. So it's like a hierarchical index all the way up. And then in terms of answering this question, the crew and their names, it actually retrieved multiple paragraphs. It looks like the first one is in level 2. And there are some, this is already a summary level. And then there are some that are from level 1, which is the original text of from the author. And then there is this, one is the whale ship prepares for voyage. The other one is stop is one of a character in the novel. And then there's this mutiny at the sea. So essentially there's a revolt from the crew, and they disobeyed the captain. And this is also level 1. So in terms of our hierarchical index, it's the base level from the original author. And then the fourth one is this person, he has prepared for another voyage. This is level 2, it's a summary of level 1, so it's not original text. And then this one, chaotic whale hunt, is the final paragraph that's used as supporting evidence to answer my question. Again, this is level 2. So you can see the content where the RAG system actually retrieved from the vector database to answer the question. You can also see the number 1, the level, and then number 2, the text that is inside that chunk, inside that node. Imagine a tree of information where the lowest level is most detailed, and then there's summary on top and a summary on top, right? So you can see actually what is stored in that node. There is also this interesting distance calculation, which is based on my question. It tried to map my question into a point in a multi-dimensional space. And then it tried to also map all the tree nodes into this multi-dimensional space. And then it tried to find the 5 closest point to my question. And then this is the distance within that vector space. So the closest one is this one, I guess about the, let's see, the closest one is this level 2. The distance is 1.22, and then this, so you can see distance field gradually increasing. So these are the 5 points that are closest to my question of this original, the crew and their names, right? So that's how, using the knowledge that I got, from last talk from Coach Cindy, I developed this RAG system, a sort of prototype miniature system that actually do this hierarchical index and then try to answer the question that the user provides to, and then find the relevant text to prepare an answer. And then that's the answer in the author's original tone. So we can ask some other questions like, is whale dangerous? Yeah, so I guess back in 19th century, our navigation technology is not that advanced, and at the high seas there's a lot of danger trying to catch whales. So here it had a summary of, it wrote a small essay like an original author to summarize the danger of whaling industry or the whaling journey. So there's this about the sperm whale. It's very dangerous. Inside the book, it actually is kind of partially fictional, partially historical. So it actually quoted some detailed history of seaborne disaster where during catching whale, the ships actually was sunk by whale, and so that was extracted from the text and then was summarized by this, the RAG engine, the Retrieval Augmented Generation engine. And then there's a person, Commodore J something, that is skeptical of these tales. But there are more supporting evidence that the whaling on a ship is quite dangerous. The whale actually may sink ships, and actually they sunk some ships. So this is again based on my question: is whale dangerous? And then it actually found some paragraphs on both level 2, the summary level, and level 1, the original text. They are related to the danger of whaling. And this one, first paragraph has very specific example, like Egypt's plagues. And the specific example is 1820. There's this particular ship that is sunk by the whale. And then there's this the whale's power and historical attacks, and then ocean's power. All these are, I guess, because I say the whale and danger is whale dangerous. It actually found very some paragraphs that has very small distance to my question. So as you can see, this distance 0.7 and 0.7, 0.8, about 0.8, they are actually closer than the previous question. So for the previous question, they were not able to find very concise paragraph that matched my question. So my previous question was, tell me about the crew and their names, right? So distance here, the closest for that question was 1.22. So they had to gather. So for the previous question, they had to gather different paragraphs about different crew members and then combine them together. But about the danger of whale, they actually found very specific paragraphs that are really talking about the danger of whales. And the distance is much closer. You see the 0.7, right? So it's almost like half as close as the when they prepared the answer for my previous question. So that actually shows, if you are interested, you can actually, I think you can just type questions here, and it will, as long as my bot continues to run, it will answer the question of the users. So you can just type into this channel. Okay, more about, okay, yeah, some user is typing. Okay, so we can, so if you have time, you can actually play with this prototype. Okay, what's the most critical plot point in this book? This is kind of abstract, but we can see. Okay, that's submitted by a user, by an audience member, I guess. Title: The Vengeful Hunt and Bounds of the Sea. And pack quote is the ship name. And then there's this Moby Dick is the whale. The name of the whale is Moby Dick. There's a powerful whale that the captain is obsessed with. So that's the let's see, but was not the vessel of peace, and then unlike this, yeah. So that is sort of the answer they provided. Falcon wave. Yeah, I'm trying to understand. It's kind of like old style English, so it's not too. It's a little bit more difficult for me to quickly scan through and understand it. Yeah. Consume its path. Hunters, the crew, hunters and dreamer were drawn into their fate title yet remain the beacon of hope. Okay. So humanity could still face. Okay. So it looks like the critical plot is related to the danger of the whales and the humanity. So I guess two parts. One is the humanity against the nature, right? Human against nature, right? So this one crucial plot. Another plot is there's this this crew member who is very quick. This person seems like very stable. Like there's with the storyteller. Storyteller is the Ishmael, and then quick. And their friendship seem to be the beacon of hope in terms of this storm in the heart of this storm that is human versus nature. All right. So that's kind of interesting, and then you can see the distance. They are not very close, but it's better than the list of clues. But so they found a few supporting evidence on this question. Yeah. So that is what we are going to demo today for the for reading the book using the RAG system. In summary, we pre-process the book into a hierarchical index of multiple levels. And then in the runtime, when we receive a query from the user, we go to calculate distance between the user's question and all these nodes in the hierarchical index, and then find the closest nodes, 5 nodes that are closest, and then use that as supporting material for the large language model to answer the user's question. And then we eventually use, again, large language model to summarize it in the tone or the writing style of the original author, and then compose an essay as if it's part of the novel. So the technology, you can imagine, is not just applicable to reading this book. If we have a lot of data like private design documents, product requirements, the stock reports. If we have lots and lots of data that are text-based, that we want to quickly summarize and answer some of our questions, then this is a potential technology. The RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, can be used to help us to do summary and answer questions on large amount of text that the large language model has not seen before. All right, so let me go back to the presentation. Okay, yeah, so we demoed that the RAG system in the context of an AI agent, and eventually it showed up as a chatbot within the Discord. And so so this system is actually implemented by lots of companies when they need to answer customers' questions automatically. So sometimes when the user goes to the website or the app of a company that may be doing travel or doing financial planning, they may want to ask some questions related to the product that they offer. And then the different software companies actually deploy or implement this retrieval augmented generation system in the back end, and then show up as it shows up as a chat agent on the web page to answer customers' questions. And this is quite useful in many situations when we actually need to introduce AI-enabled features to the customers. So how do we actually go about building an AI agent? Then we will, how do we start, right? Usually we can start from the very beginning, right? Have a chatbot that has a small amount of capability, and then we gradually add more capabilities to our agent to make it more full-fledged. So now my assistant JC is going to demo how we can actually build an AI agent from scratch. All right,
Hello,
JC.
can you hear me?
Yes.
I will start screen sharing if you turn on sharing for me. So here's a request.
Yes.
Is it visible?
It's black on my side. Okay, so now, yes, now it's visible.
All right. So in our class, which I'll be demoing, is how we will build a chatbot by using a few things. Firstly, with a Cursor's code editor, which is a powerful AI tool editor which allows us to make code. A list of requirements, which gives the AI tool editor instructions on how to make a chatbot, how we generate code, and how we run it. So we'll be building a pretty simple demo chatbot for you to see, and it's all inside of this Cursor's AI IDE, which is an extension of Visual Studio Code, which allows it to connect with Claude 3.5 in order to write code pretty fast. As the project we're about to make is reasonably simple, which is to make a chatbot, the actual prompt itself can just go through a single list of requirements and allow the AI to make the entire thing, which works in a single prompt and a single run to create an entire thing. For more complex projects, it'll require more than just this, but as I'm just demoing this for now, I will show you. It only takes one run. So to do this, we have Cursor's IDE, which has a file system manager on the left, in the center, a list of contents of the individual file, and on the right, a chat area, which allows communicating with a chatbot, which will help us write the code. So I've already prepared a list of requirements beforehand, which asks for a few things in our chatbot. Firstly, I want it to be able to process and respond to user input. I want it to be able to support natural language queries. I want it to use an OpenAI API key, and I want it to build the chatbot in this area. I've provided an example call to OpenAI with it, as this is the most up-to-date version of it, so it'll connect correctly with ChatGPT. Now on the right, I have the list of files which I can add as context for the AI for Claude to see. I've added this requirements file on as a context, and I'll be asking it simply to, based on the requirements in this requirements file, build a chatbot. As you can see, the chatbot will now create an entire functional system of code which allows it to communicate with ChatGPT for a reasonably simple chatbot. It should be running. We apply and accept these changes. As you can see, the Claude has already written up a full chatbot for us. It goes through a few things like an initialization, a few responses, and a main system, which we will soon see demonstrated. On the bottom of this IDE is a place where I can run code directly. So I've already navigated to the folder we're in, and I'll just do Python main.py. Although Cursor's AI can run with different languages, I've chosen to use Python because it's the simplest and prevents the most strange errors from occurring. So as you can see, there is a chatbot, and I can ask it anything. What's the best type of cracker? This chatbot is directly linked to OpenAI's ChatGPT model, so it can talk with the same strength as ChatGPT, although it doesn't have the browser-based search functionality, which OpenAI you can find on the browser. It's just a simple call to the API, and it allows it to do this. Next, I'll show you a slightly more advanced version of this, which allows it to access a few more APIs in the process. The system is primarily for a traveler who is trying to go around the world and understand what the situation of their destination is. And it allows this to do it through a few APIs. Firstly, a weather AI API, which connects to Open Weather Map, and a get exchange rate, which allows it to find the exchange rate between any two currencies. If you're a traveler coming from the US to, for example, India or China, it'll be able to find the currency and the rate in between the two. I programmed this entire thing within 2 hours or so, maybe 1 hour using the AI, and it's pretty powerful. This thing has two main API functionalities, although inherently it's just based on ChatGPT and it allows calculation of intents, as in what the user wants from the APIs. For example, I can ask it something simple like, what type of tower is the most famous in London? As it's just linked up directly to ChatGPT, it can respond to these with anything. The most famous tower in London is the Tower of London, also known as Her Majesty's Royal Palace. But with the API, it can get, for example, live weather in London, which I've had the AI code for me, like, what's the weather in London? And it can be written in any way, like weather in Moscow now. If the audience has any questions for what cities you want to know the weather of, I can do that. But I will first, and you can send requests for the cities in the YouTube chat screen. For exchange rates, I can also do this by directly asking convert 100 yen to CNY, no, euro, for example. And it'll immediately do that rate. And we can confirm that this is around accurate, although it's a little bit off sync with the current exact one. 100
If
yen
anyone wants
to
to suggest a city, you can type that into the YouTube chat window.
As you can see, it can also convert between any two currencies. And if you have any questions on that, it can immediately show you. I can also ask 10,000 CNY to rupees. It can go in between any type of currency to show you this.
How about Canadian dollar versus US dollar?
1 Canadian dollar to USD. Does Canadian dollar have an abbreviation?
Yeah,
CAD.
CAD, yes.
It shows the exact rate as well, although it just gave me what was the general conversion on the side.
Right.
I guess it rounds to the nearest cent because that makes sense. It's great.
Yeah. 100,000 Canadian dollars equal to 69,000 US dollar.
Any suggestions from the audience?
Not at the moment.
All right, this will be open. So this is what I've shown for these two demos, which were both this first one being coded within 20 seconds and the second one being coded in half an hour to an hour, most of which was spent setting up the API keys. Thank you, Ken. I will hand
All
it
right,
back to
thank
you.
you, JC. Yeah, so if people have questions for JC on which cities or which currency pairs, feel free to type into the chat window. All right, so let me take over the presentation again. Okay. Yeah, so first, we can quickly summarize what JC did. Essentially, we built a simple AI agent at the beginning and then added a couple features such as checking the weather and converting between currency pairs to the agent. We use the AI cursor editor to help us code and to communicate our requirement to the cursor. We write a document almost as if we are working in an engineering team. the reason we use a document is it's sometimes very difficult to communicate the idea through a single sentence, like we want to do this. So in a real, software company, we write requirement docs. So that's how we actually are able to be more specific about what we want from the code. And then we use the requirement and ask the cursor to generate code for us, and then we run through the code, and then gradually we added more and more features. Right now JC's demo is running through the terminal, but in real life, after we build that step, we are probably going to build the steps to show the user interface on the web or in mobile apps. So that leads to our upcoming AI courses. So today we have limited time, so we can only demo so much. But to help you learn about these two technologies, the retrieval augmented generation, as well as building the AI agent, we have prepared courses on those subjects. So the first one is the AI agent for beginners. And I will be teaching this course to over 5 evenings, each one with 1 hour. And the goal is one, I will help you to go through how to create an AI agent, how to let it collect real world information, and how to process it using different thinking patterns, and also how to perform actions, responding to the user or performing more actions on behalf of the user. So the target audience of this is beginner developers. You could be student, you could be entry-level developers. It's very beginner friendly, and this course will start at the end of March. So I have the QR code to join this course here, and so this is one of the courses. So my own background, I have worked in the software industry for over 20 years. And recently I started Mingdao School, and I'm full-time doing this coaching service. We provide coaching for software professionals, including developers, engineering managers, leaders, to be more successful in their software career, plan their career, help them with transitions, either doing interview or getting promoted, or getting more responsibilities, such as becoming the first frontline manager for the first time. So we have been providing this service to hundreds of students, and we have been successful, helping these students find their next opportunity and expand their scope. And then so this course, I will teach this course, and JC will be my assistant. And this will be targeting beginner developers with basic coding skill. And by the end of this course, one is if you follow through our schedule, you'll be able to come up with a chatbot with multiple features. Second is you can have your own personal project to build a AI agent that whether you want to build a support agent or travel, whatever you want to build, you have the opportunity to follow the guideline outlined by this course, and then build your own AI agent as well. So this course will start this Saturday, so coming Saturday, March 29th. Yeah, and then there is another class which is on retrieval augmented generation, which is the part that I showed you earlier tonight, how to retrieve information from large amount of data. And the target audience will be software professionals who are familiar with software engineering, but they want to get into the field of AI and machine learning, and they want to gain some skill in this area in terms of just breaking into the machine learning AI field. So this will be taught by Coach Cindy, who made a presentation last weekend, and so she is a director of machine learning, front end engineering, and data science, and she has lots of experience building AI systems. And this will be over 4 evenings, and she will cover advanced topics in retrieval augmented generation. Yeah, so the first cohort will start on Friday, April 4th. So maybe about a couple weeks from now. Yeah, so you are welcome to join our RAG course as well. So here is the QR code to join it. All right, and so if you're just you are interested, feel free to join our LinkedIn group as well as our WeChat. If you're using WeChat, you can join our WeChat group as well. And then I have left these two QR code for our upcoming courses here. I will also type the URL from the YouTube chat for you to look at our courses. So we host lots of events. If you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll get notification for future events, and we also share knowledge through YouTube and TikTok to help our community to do better, in the software industry. So here is the link. All right. Let's see. Does anyone have any questions? I'm happy to answer any questions. Yeah, thank you for joining our meeting today, our event today. See. All right. Okay, so if there are no questions, yeah, I will leave this up for a while. Feel free to join our groups and our courses, yeah, we hope you can become more successful in terms of developing software and getting into the field of machine learning and AI. All right, thank you everyone for joining our event.